or moral reasoning raises the probability of moral realism being true.
Well, how I take it that moral realism is true, I tie it to the Bible. So I talk about God
what?
and his
But
attitude.
you just
He's a divine command theorist.
wait, hold on. This is just like a completely
it's
different argument.
it's a whole big thing. I've been running this same topic for like 3 days or
Okay, so you acknowledge you just pivoted to a completely different argument. Like
it's not a
first
different argument. You're asking me my view. What the fuck? Every debate that you'll see when I talk about realism, I reference the Bible.
What the hell? Okay,
Yeah.
so can we just like deal with this one by one?
What do you mean, one by one?
Like so you mentioned that you think that moral reasoning raises the probability of moral realism compared to like anti-realist hypotheses. And number two, you said that moral progression raises the probability of moral realism compared to anti-realist hypotheses.
Yeah.
So on the first point, I just want a reason to believe that.
Okay. So one is just that, well, we're made in God's image. You know, God had the types of attitudes towards acting towards like a given standard. So it's like not being sinful. We see people reason about sin. We see people who are Christians, you know, they have that type of mental attitude. So that's the type of consistency there. You know, that's one thing. And then what was the other thing you asked me about?
Okay, we could just stay on this point. Okay, so I mean, number one, that presupposes that God exists, which is like a whole different debate that we could get into maybe, but I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole.
So it doesn't presuppose God's existence.
Yes, you're saying that we're made in God's image, and you're saying that God has attitudes. So obviously it's the case that you're ontologically committed to God.
Okay, so of course I believe in God, but it's if the case that the Bible is true, we would expect certain phenomena, and we have data that suggests the hypothesis, which
If the
is
Bible
more.
is true, then that presupposes God exists.
Okay.
Not interrupt me, right? You don't understand how subjective fucking models of probability distribution work, so I'm gonna educate you on that shit. So don't cut me off. I'm trying to make you better, bitch.
Jesus.
So like I see a data that suggests a hypothesis where we sign
so
up
tough.
with belief, right? You can look at this as reasonability. Some Bayesianists talk about probability as in a reasonable expectation that can be updated given scientific data, knowledge, and testing. Now, I do have the type of belief that is reliable, right? As it's indicative of the type of hypothesis, right? The belief is justified and probable in the sense that there is a set value distributed to the proposition given the axioms of probability. Right, so there's multitudes of ways how the proposition is already internally.
Can I just flag that? Wait, can I just flag that there? Wait, can I just flag? So you said that it follows from the actions of probability that the hypothesis is probable. You said it follows from the axioms of probability that your hypothesis is probable.
Yes, it would have some value assigned to it of reasonability via Cohn-Grove's axioms.
Okay, so can you lay it out for me?
And then it's also via the fact that I already have evidence to suggest the hypothesis itself as I laid it out.
Okay, can you just lay it out for me how the axioms of probability secure the proposition on offer here being probable?
Yeah, because every proposition is going to be assigned a set value via the rules of non-negativity in the other three of Cohn-Grove's axioms.
Okay, how does that?
So I've explained to you how it works.
Keeps calling me.
No,
this guy keeps calling me.
Don't act like somebody's calling you, right?
It's literally on High Kick Mouth stream. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god. Anyways, Mercury, right? You came in here so confident, right? So do you have any contentions with the arguments I've given out? So there's consistency towards the hypothesis where I assign a rational degree of belief.
If I have that
is the updating method when we're talking about Bayesian instance, right? So the prior probability was just a set value assigned that cannot be zero as it's not impossible. We're not talking about some type of contradiction or arbitrary.
Can we have moderation, please? Like, can somebody mute this guy so he doesn't go on rambles?
Yeah, that's fine by me.
So I wasn't on.
No, you can't mute me because if you mute me, I'll just leave.
Oh, you're a bitch, man. You're a pussy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You said if you get forced to have linear convo, you'll leave.
So you can contend the argument. You can contend the argument. You can contend the argument. I'll mute my mic.
The argument.
But I'm not going to be perma-abusing. No, because you guys have been perma-abusing me the whole fucking time. Fuck your server rules. Right? He wants to debate me. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. I don't fuck you and your server rules.
He's so tough, bro. He's so tough.
So again,
can I
Mercury,
just-
I'm gonna mute myself for like a minute. Now I want an argument for the negation or just something that disproves my position. Go ahead.
Right, so it's just unclear to me how the axioms of probability make it such that your proposition is probable as you claimed. And number two, if it's the case that your like account of morality is indexed to God's attitudes, then I just don't know how it's a moral realist view, because subjectivism, like types of subjectivism, are based on saying that moral truth is indexed to some attitudes that an agent has, generally speaking.
Wait, so do you have a contradiction?
Well, the contradiction is that it is and isn't a moral realist view on your account there.
So why is my view is and not a moral realist view?
Well, you're claiming that it is a moral realist view, and then I just explained why it isn't a moral realist
So why
view.
is my view not a moral realist view?
I just explained it.
I'm asking you for clarification.
Okay, which part do you want me to clarify?
I want you to explain specifically why my view is not a moral realist view.
I did. Which part do you want me to clarify?
So are you just going to dodge?
I mean, it's not my problem if you didn't try.
Specifically explain why my view is not a moral realist view.
I mean,
why is it the case that these moral facts are stance dependent rather than stance independent?
We can just get ones in the chat if you tracked my explanation as to why it's a.
Yeah, I didn't hear your explanation. Right, so you're going to give ones